everybody, this is Mazzius616 here with another video for you today, and today we are doing a bit of a different type of video. This isn't an opening. Today starts a new series for me explaining how different parts of the game work, how different cards are played, how they're made, and kind of the backgrounds behind them and why they are the way they are. So today we start with the most basic level, the lands of the game to begin with. So for those of you that don't know, these are land cards. You have your 5 basic: plains, swamp, mountain, forest, and island. These are your basic land cards. You can see they're identified right here by basic land. They tell you what type of card they are and the mana symbol they produce. That'll become more important later on. But the purpose of these lands is this is where you get the mana to cast your spells. Spells count as creatures, enchantments, artifacts, instants, sorceries. The whole shebang are all considered spells. You have specifics, creature spells, so on and so forth. But for the most part, they're all considered spells. And this is what you use. And each basic land taps for 1 basic land color. So you get 1 island out of it. You get 1 plains, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 forest. And these are all kind of different versions of it. You have your more basic looking lands, which are these. They've got the little border here, symbol right there, some basic artwork, look great. Then you have what I call celestial lands, which are more these 3 here, where they have a bit more fancier artwork. You notice how down here has got some artwork on it. Let me actually pull one up for you. I'll pull up a non-foil so you can see it a little better. So you've got the basic artwork down here, bit of a border with it. Still says basic land swamp, still has symbol in the bottom, but it's a bit more visually persuasive, I would like to say. I have to say that mountain is one of my favorite ones. These look amazing just because the red I think looks really good with the foil. And these are more showy lands. You don't really need them. You can have a whole deck made of basic, basic, give me just a second, I got one right here. Basic non-foil, similar to this. Similar to one of these. Those are fine. Have a whole deck full of those, that's fine. I like artwork. I think the artwork and Magic the Gathering is one of the strongest parts of the game. So I like to have it be a bit more visual impairing. And then my absolute favorite land type is the full art celestial. And I have 1 forest here as kind of a example. So this is the same thing. You can see it still says basic land forest. You can see instead of having a diagram or a kind of, what's what I'm looking for, scene, the symbol itself becomes the artwork. And these I just think look fantastic. They're absolutely gorgeous. If I had a foil one, I'd be showing you right now. But these are your 5 basic land types. And they're used to cast all sorts of spells, all sorts of, put the camera there, different effects. Then you have a couple of cards that are dual lands or tri-lands. I've heard mentioned before. One of those would be awesome, but mainly dual lands. And those look more like this. This is Foul Orchard, so it's a swamp and a forest, so it'd be these 2 right here. Let me kind of move this more center. So these are swamp, forest, and there are 10 various combinations, of course, but it's these 2 right here. And whenever you tap it or you activate it or anything like that, you can add that to your mana field. Now, in order to use lands, you have to do what's called tapping lands, which in gameplay, you just turn them sideways. Maybe candy corner them. I like to turn mine all the way sideways, but I play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, so I like to do the whole defensive mode switch. Makes it really visually, matches up visually with it. So this enters the battlefield tapped, which whenever you can play 1 land a turn, whether it's a land like this, whether it's a basic land. I've got another one over here to kind of show you here in a second, but you can play 1 a turn. And in this case, this one enters the battlefield tapped. These are great for first turn lands because a lot of the time you can't play a card your first turn. So you throw out Foul Orchard and enters play tapped. You don't really lose anything. It's later on in the game when this entering the battlefield tapped really starts to have a negative effect on you. And then of course some of these will have little flavor text on here. On Amonkhet, death is an ever-present part of life, so swamp tends to be more of the death, decay, sacrificing creatures. Green, you have a lot of lifelink. You have life, of course, in the forest. So that's what that kind of entails too. And just some of the flavor text on these cards are amazing. But yes, you've got Foul Orchard. Once again, beautiful artwork. Generally, you won't find any of the dual lands like these. As you can see, there's a slight black and a slight green to it to let you know it's swamp and forest. The ones will be blue, green, red, green. You've got all 10 different combinations that can match up, and that's how you can play dual lands. Some of them do different things. There'll always be text down here to tell you how to use it. Some dual lands interplay tapped, but whenever it enters play, you scry one, you gain one life. There's a lot of different things that can happen. So that's a dual land, and then we'll have one other kind of land for this video because I don't want to throw too much at you guys at once. There's going to be a whole playlist. You have land like a desert, Grasping Dunes, where you tap it and you add a colorless to your mana pool. That can be used to play any card that requires a colorless mana, which in the next video we'll get into creatures and I'll go ahead and show you guys how that works. But it also generally has a secondary effect, like here you have spend 1 mana, tap, sacrificing Grasping Dunes, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. Those will go into more detail in the next video as far as when you can activate a sorcery, things like that as this video series progresses. But this you can only activate during your turn, but you would sacrifice this land, losing one of your abilities to do a colorless generic mana, but what you can do in the process is take out one of their creatures that may only have 1 toughness or something like that. So there are times where the desert is in fact your friend. But that is all for this video today. This was just a basic introduction to lands and the different types that you can get, into different varieties, what you might like. Once again, I'm kind of flashy. I like my foil lands. Some people like all basic lands. Some people like all lands from the same set, or even as far as the same artwork. I like to vary up mine a bit more than that. But that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, share, especially share this video around with as many people as you can. Any little bit helps the channel. And you guys have a great day.